I've got a fun one for you lads today. I have just had a package delivered and I am going to have a fun time having a little quick install. So my tail section has come in, or the tail section delete has come in, so I am going to do a quick how to install. Since I already have had the passenger peg deletes, I've been waiting on these puppies for a little while. They finally came in, so time to get on with the install. Now, you're definitely going to need your key to, be able to remove the seat off, to essentially have the seat delete section go on there. And I believe that you will need an Allen key somewhere in the range of 3mm. I don't know if it's picking it up. Yeah, focusing on the Hero 8, it's a bit of a doo-doo. Let's just quickly get the seat off and out of the way. So simple. Now this sucker is not going to be needed anymore unless I decide to put my passenger stuff back on. But yes, 3mm Allen key. There's going to be roughly four screws. Sorry, my level, that'll be 6. 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, and these 2 pieces right here. That's holding on the tail section fairing. So I am going to crack on with it, and yeah, it's pretty easy. It's like maybe maximum 5-minute install, but since I haven't really seen many videos online covering it, I just decided, you know what, let's just crack on and make one myself. Considering I've done install guides on, well, everything else, so I was just like, you know what, time to monkey wrench on the tail section. Now I know that my bike is got a lot of water spots. We're going into winter over here, and or close to winter, and it's very wet. So let's pack onto it. Now remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. That is loose enough to hand crank. I cannot wait for this carbon delete. I am still waiting. I've been waiting for a very long time now. I have this Ducati decal coming in to essentially sit on the tail section fairing, as well as the Ducati Street Fighter sticker to come here. Now I phoned them up today. Oh, don't want to lose that. And asked what's the progress on it, and they said one of the 2 have come in, and they're just waiting on the second one, and they'll get back to me tomorrow if it does come in. Now don't forget, put your screws in a safe place, or you're gonna get screwed. And then obviously I'll just quickly loosen these out and then hand turn them, because trying to wrench with one hand is a bit of a challenge. All loose. Key will be needed later, so pop that sucker in there, because you'll need the key to essentially, when you put the tail delete in, sorry, the seat delete, you need to turn the key to open the lock, slide the seat delete in, and then lock it with the key essentially. So let's crack on, shall we? Man, I need a smaller wrench. anyone could do it. Just takes 5-10 minutes tops. Now I will need to clean these screws because, as you can see, there's a bit of water and dust, dirt and grime essentially on it. So, oh yeah, and be careful of these washers, especially on the under 4 screws. They'll come with washers and they're slightly longer, so they're a wee bit different. As you can see, it's just a little bit stuck on this plastic bit. And if you keep at it, it'll come out. What I need to make sure the washer hasn't come out. And yeah, this tail section literally just pulls off. And to be honest, it's reasonably heavy. Reasonably heavy in comparison to that. This is barely anything. Legitimately barely anything. So what I'm going to do right now is grab myself a microfiber cloth, do a little bit of a clean up here, because once I put that on, obviously I don't want like all this water spots and dust and dirt to be stuck underneath there. So I'm just going to crack on with that, and yeah. But yeah, I do distinctly remember in one of my videos I mentioned that my tail section got a bit of a crack. That's it right there. Now the crack isn't on the outer shell. Seems like it's a rock flicked up, smacked it, and the crack is on the inside of this red shell, or red plastic piece essentially. Which is a mild inconvenience because, yeah, these tail sections aren't very cheap to replace. And they don't build them in a modular sense where you can just replace that plastic. You'll have to replace the whole tail section. But it still works. So I ain't worried too much about that. Oh, well, it's not big enough or noticeable enough unless you're told about it and then you actively go looking for it. But yeah, right there. You need to be very careful when you're putting it on, because carbon, even though it is strong, in certain, if you do flex it in a certain way, it is a little bit more fragile. Now when you do install this, you're no longer going to need these 2 screws, so you only need the 4 big ones. So I'm just going to quickly align it. Just a little side update. Probably be beneficial to actually put this in first. That way you're not fiddling around, because you can't see because of the tail section blocks off this locking mechanism, which makes it harder to get the seat into place, and then even harder to push back and get the locking mechanism to actually lock it in place. So yeah, that in first, then the tail delete. Yeah, it's as simple as that. That's in its recess underneath here. Now I just need to line up those holes, and pretty much the install is all hunky-dory and good to go. So obviously I'm not going to be able to show you how to screw in those 4 screws, so I just showed you how to undo them. It's pretty straightforward, you know, screws left loose, right tight, you know. Once that's in, obviously I'll put the seat delete in, completing the look. Now I do wish I had my decals, because then I could have masked off areas, aligned it and all that, and made it look sexier. Alrighty, the grand reveal. That looks clean as heck. I am quite liking that look. Now, I did want to do like a carbon top piece here, but I'm kind of liking the two-tone of the red and the black carbon. But the one thing I do want to do is get a little bit of red decals or trim to go along the sides here. just to balance out the solid black, essentially, just so that you know, ties in a bit more, because I got a red down the bottom there. Just get a little bit of red here and we would be on the money. But yeah, that'll bring us to the end of this install, and quite enjoying the look of my new tail section. It's very clean, ties the bike up very nicely. So yeah, if y'all found this video to be informational and helpful, let me know by slapping the hell out of that like button and sub button, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Deuces.